Afternoon, Jake. Quick one from me. In terms of how you've picked your squad, how's the weather been there the whole week? Was it influenced by that, or was there pre-planned ideas around your first encounter this week?
No. So the weather's been fine. Predictions are tomorrow it should be okay as well. No, it didn't have any impact on our selections. I suppose it would have had a massive implication if it was wet and cold and windy and lots of rain. But at this point in time, it seems to be quite pleasant. So hopefully it'll stay like that.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Khotso. Carl?
Jake, thanks a lot. Would you mind explaining the one or two changes you made?
Well, just more rotation, Cole. I think a guy like Kobus Visas played quite a lot of 80-minute runs. So Ruan Vermaak comes into his place. Marcus obviously hasn't come on tour because he needs his. We need to rotate him from a rest period point of view. So Marcel comes in there, and then the backs are exactly the same. So I think the only two changes I said are just, and then Aluta comes in as a loose head on the bench. Yeah, so that's it. I suppose those are only changes. I can't think of anything else, Carl. Is that right, eh? It's only those changes.
Yep. Jake, what do you expect tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm expecting a tough game. I mean, they beat the Stormers. When we played them here last time, they were difficult to beat. We won 38-31. They are or have been the most consistent Welsh team in the last couple of seasons. So yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting anything other than a tough day at the office, and that, as I said, tough team to beat and tough team to play against. I don't really play much, so they obviously don't give too much away. So again, one of the things we're just going to have to play, with lots of control and lots of understanding about how we can work them out and how we can wear them down, Cole.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl.
Thanks, Lunga. Hi, Jake. Jake, just if I'm not mistaken, the Bulls are on quite a good run of form in terms of your away form. I think you've only lost just the one game away in the URC this year, and that was to Leinster in Dublin, a very good Leinster team. What's going to be the important points to keep that going tomorrow?
Yeah, look, Dylan, I mean, obviously what happened last year, and I know it's the same calendar year, but whatever happened last year is immaterial. Teams have changed, coaches have changed, personnel have changed. I think when to answer your question, nothing needs to change. We need to make sure that we're still good on the road. We're still going to make sure if you want to play in the back end of the competition, you're going to win away games. So, getting back to what Carl asked me, I mean, Ospreys are a tough team. You saw a Scarlets team, how good they've been. They are next game. And then Benetton, we know how tough it is to win in Benetton. They've beaten us there in the Rainbow Cup final. So it's not an easy tour. And it's not going to be, it's not going to start with an easy game against Ospreys tomorrow. So there's nothing that changes from our mindset point of view. It's being on tour. It's finding a way to win games. And yeah, we have successfully, we have done reasonably well, offshore in all competitions. But as I said, whatever happened last year is immaterial, Dylan. It's about what happens this year. So different challenge, different team from our point of view, different team that we're playing against from their point of view. So we'll just have to, as I said, find a way in which we can get a result.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dylan. Ati?
Thanks, Lunga. Hi, Coach. Just to let you on Dylan's question, Coach. Last season, away wins, you term them as bonus points, and they quite helped in terms of your charge of moving towards finishing in those top two slots. Is it the same mindset? Is it the same message still being shared with the squad in terms of away wins, away from home, still bonus points, and then the home wins, it's just a must win?
Yeah, exactly, Ati. I mean, home games are non-negotiable, and tour games are difficult because that just is the nature. You travel, you play away from home, you have you don't have crowd support like you do back home. And one of the things we've been very good at is creating pressure, getting bonus points, and sometimes getting big wins away from home as well, which is vital, because every point you get away from home, whether it's an extra attacking bonus point by getting 5, or whether it's scoring 4 tries and losing by less than 7, which is obviously 2 points. Any way you can accumulate points is important, because it might not seem important now, but as you saw last year, the difference between getting a home semi and a home quarterfinal, or staying on top of people that you necessarily need to play at home is difficult, and it comes down to 1 point.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Lunga.
Cool. Thanks, Archie. MV.
Hello, Jake. I asked you last week at the press conference after the game about Elrigh at number 8, and there you go. Elrigh at number 8, Ludwig at number 7 opens new doors for you. I wanted to hear your thoughts on. Maybe I prompted you or something. I'll take credit for it.
You did, MV. You did. In fact, I was surprised you asked me that, because I thought, how did you know I was actually going to do that anyway? And I knew Ludwig was coming back from injury. I know for a fact that we've got we lock-wise with both Ruans and Kobus, and obviously Jeff that can play lock, and Sintu that can play lock. It was always going to be an option for me to play Reinhardt as a blindside flanker. And I knew that when he came back from injury, the way to sort of maybe bring him into the squad would have been as a flanker. And so, you did probably ask a question, which I thought, how did you know? And having Elrigh back at number 8, because he does play number 8 for the Boks as well. So it's not a position he's not used to. But, in all likelihood, it can be that Elrigh can go to 7 at the back end of the game when Cameron comes on. And we can finish with a combination we've played many times before with Elrigh and Cameron and Marcel. So it is a little bit of, I suppose, trying a different combination. But I will say that, Reinhard Ludwig has proved to me, we played the Stormers with him at 7. We beat the Stormers. He's a good line-out option. He offers us massive amounts of work rate because of his athletic ability as well. And I'm quite keen to see how it goes with him in the line-out, and also with him combining with Marcel and with Elrigh.
And just on the bench, is Keegan Johannes also a backup for 10?
Probably Willie MVF for this week.
Okay.
Willie can probably go to 10. So for this week, no. Willie would probably go to 10, and as I said, Kanan probably go to fullback, and Piwik go to wing. So that'll probably be more likely than me moving Keegan to 10 while Willie's on the field.
All right, great. Thank you. Congratulations and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, MV. Warren.
Thanks, Lunga. Hi, Jake. When we published the Bulls squad early this week, Bulls fans, there was a lot of confidence amongst Bulls fans. I think the one position they were concerned about was fly-off, and you spoke about Willie going to be covering fly-off. Are you happy with your cover in that position for the whole tour?
Yeah, look, Warren, it's like, is the glass half full or glass half empty? Coaches are never happy with all the cover they have. You always want 2 internationals in every position. But Butcher did really well last week, and as I said, Willie can cover for 10 this week, and so we should be all right. The point is, it's not ideal. Every team has got. If you look at every team, they've all got 1 or 2 positions they thin on based on the fact that they've probably got injuries in those positions. And if you look at the Springboks, I'm just trying to think. One stage this year, they lost about 4 or 5 locks, and they seemed to get through that campaign and won it for the Rugby Championship. So it is. I suppose if you look at it from one point of view, it is an area where we wish we had more depth. But it's a great opportunity for guys that are in that position. And Butcher, as I said, stepped up to the plate last week, was outstanding. Hopefully he uses this as a stepping stone for him to cement himself in every match day 23. So yeah, I can't worry about what happens if. I can only control what we have in front of us.
Yes, thanks, Lunga. Hi, Jake. Hope you well.
Good.
Jake, just quickly on Butcher. After the Currie Cup semi-final was obviously a difficult kick there at the end, but that quick line-out that he took, the throw-in, and you guys won there, Kanan scoring under the post, seemed to give him a lot of confidence when he spoke to us before last week's game. What's the key for him to continue in that vein? Because he seems to have a very nice, varied all-round game, which will actually suit you guys in Northern Hemisphere conditions as well.
Exactly, Ashfaq. I mean, one thing I really enjoyed is his work rate, the way he scrambled back and that kick to dot it down. When he chased the ball, picked it up and took a quick line out. I mean, he's obviously got a point of difference in terms of he's quick. He also, I mean, he shows control at vital times. His line kicking was outstanding last week. And, you know, it's funny because you say Mr. Kick, you know, he wanted that kick. He wanted to take it. And that in itself is a positive sign for me because he asked for the kicking tee and he wanted to have a crack at kicking it over. I remember Chris Smith missing a kick early on in the campaign when we were together, in our time together. And what did Chris Smith mean to the Bulls by the time he left? You know, drop kick in the quarterfinals, you know, quick kicks in big games to win big games. I've got no doubt that Boeta will be the same. You know, I don't think you can judge a guy on one goal kick. So as I said, I mean, the in a short space of time, he was then the hero for us the next week when we won that game against Edinburgh, against an Edinburgh side that had, you know, internationals in every position. So we'll keep working on him. We'll just keep building his confidence. And to be fair as well, I mean, I don't think I asked him the other day, Ashfaq, he's never played in a backline like that ever before. I mean, you look at that backline, Embro, Springbok, David Creel, Kanan Moody, Springbok, Willie LaRue, Springbok, you know, Kirkley Orange, Springbok. So he can only get better. I mean, he can only get better if the more he plays in that combination, and the more he plays with those players around him. So, yeah, I'm very confident that in a small space of time, the progress he's made and the way that he's matured in a small space of time, you know, if we can continue that graph, then I've got no doubt that he'll be a stalwart in our team.
And just finally, Jake, the Ospreys, they seem to be a team that they don't go away, and that's what the Stormers found out in that defeat. What did you learn from that game that can help you guys tomorrow?
Well, I think that's the one thing that you just said is that, I mean, the Stormers looked like it was a matter of time before they were going to roll them over and beat them. And it didn't happen. Ospreys just kept coming back at them. And if you remember, they scored a penalty maul try at the death there. So, I mean, again, they weren't even satisfied with a win. They really wanted to finish off strong. So they are that kind of team. I mean, I said it just now, Ashfaq, they don't really play much rugby. They quite a conservative team, and that's the style, but it seems to be working for them as a group. And that's why they stay in games, because they can almost, you know, they can almost frustrate teams and make you make mistakes, and then they use those opportunities to put points on you. So it's something that I learned. I don't think it's something new. I mean, it's something I saw has worked for them, and not only this season. They, as I said just now, Ashfaq, they have been in the last 2-3 years the top Welsh team in terms of the rankings and in terms of where they finished in the log. So, you know, I'm expecting no different tomorrow. They're going to be a tough nut to crack.
I guess that pack can just get the ball rolling there and really physically dominate. I mean, that will put you on the front foot there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose that's the same for every week. You know, everyone says you just physical and win the tight five, and your tight five must dominate. That's one of the cornerstones of rugby. If your forwards get front foot ball and your forwards are, you know, dominating, then the game becomes easier. But, you know, saying that everyone says that. I'm sure in their team talk they'll be saying exactly the same thing.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank
you very much. Just don't mind the noise. I'm at the Lions Sharks on the 21 semi-final. Jake, your next home game is on the 14th of December. I'm against Saracens, and that's a Champions Cup game. So that means the next 6-7 weeks are just away games. How important does it make this particular fixture against Ospreys, especially from a good start perspective?
In fact, Kanyiso, I'm not going to take you on, but I mean, we play Saracens away as well. The next home game is Northampton, I think, as you say, in the middle of
yes.
Yeah, the middle of December. Yeah, it is. I mean, it isn't ideal. I mean, I'd love to be home now over the November-December period because it's such a nice time of the year and the weather's nice. But you know, everyone has a tour they have to embark on, and everyone has tough games they have to. We've got a block now that is, well, you know, it's difficult and away, and I think you're right. It's important for the supporters to hopefully see us win. Hopefully, you know, get a bit of groundswell back in our town when we come back. But it's a long competition. You know, I think, you know, I'm sort of telling you something you all know, but it's 21 games, and we all know, especially the Bulls know more than most, is the 21st game is the most important, and we haven't twice now. We've knocked over the last hurdle, so there's a lot of water that needs to go under the bridge. There's a lot of rugby that needs to be played, and a lot of competitions we still want to be part of. So, you know, this is just another game in terms of making sure that we can grow as a squad from week to week.